everyone. Our lined up Fusion Talk sessions, they are crafted to ignite curiosity, share relatable stories, and bring depth without jargon. My special guest is Fusion Mind's AI Chief Technology Officer. Ahmed's voice as both engineer and ethicist helps bridge the AI knowledge gap with credibility and heart. I want you to brace for 3 special episodes that feel like front row seats to the future with purpose and personality. So, Ahmed, I want you to know my co founder and partner. He's a forward thinking technology enthusiast, passionate about solving complex problems and creating new opportunities. With a background in customer experience industry, he has a unique understanding of the importance of customer interactions and the role they play in shaping brand reputation and customer loyalty. Ahmed is now driven to use AI to transform customer experiences into intelligent decisions and actionable insights. He believes that AI has the potential to revolutionize our personal lives and introduce new ways businesses interact with their customers and create personalized experiences that delight and engage. With his expertise in CX and his passion for AI, Ahmed is poised to drive innovation and transformation in the industry and create a better future for all. Welcome, Ahmed. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Yasmine. Thank you.
I'm so happy that you flew to Dubai back from the Silicon Valley and you want us to cruise this episode in talking about the age of intelligent purpose. Is AI the new operating system? Many are wondering, and I know you're all excited as we unpack this special episode with Ahmed. What is your take on the speed and direction of AI development over the last 12 months?
Well, I think we all agree there has been a lot of very positive advancement. If you look, for example, the duration that it took between coming from the perceptual AI toward generative AI, it's like maybe 12, 13, 14 years. But then just between generative AI and agentic AI, it was like a year and a half, almost, or 18 months. So it's actually accelerating very quickly. And there is a lot of positive hype, I would say, from people to understand the difference between the actual potential of this technology versus the capability that exists today. But yeah, it's a lot of excitement happening there and it's moving very fast. Yeah.
Indeed. And you know, like every day I'm bombarded with wealth of information. I always say, I want to loop Ahmed. I want to keep the team up to speed.
Yeah,
What's
right.
going on? So
yeah. No, it's very interesting.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And it's part of the experience to stay up to date with AI. But also it takes time and effort to understand how can you imply
Leverage
these
it.
changes and leverage it 100%. Because a lot of these updates also comes from the technology trend itself within the core research and development. And this is usually coming up from companies that spending billions of dollars on this technology. But on individual level and corporate level, sometime when you start using the technology, you don't see the hype that you saw on this news, because you might be using something that has a simple subscription as $20 per month just to do basic summarization, stuff like that. So just people need to differentiate between where the starting point will be, which can be very basic, something that's just going to be around saving time or optimizing their productivity, versus the core AI development news that they get every day. Yeah, the stuff that can be like billions of dollars of investment, which is not available in our hands today. But it's good to know that it might one day become a consumer level kind of
Mainstreamed
capability.
further, yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Are we at a high peak or are we still scratching the surface of what AI can do?
Yeah, it's difficult to say, because I think we should all ask ourselves this question based on what we do on a daily basis. Like, it doesn't have to be an AI tool that sits inside your company or business. It's also on the personal level. So how many times do you call AI to support you during what you're doing during the day? I think most of people will talk about we use AI maybe to like ChatGPT and others just to summarize things for them or as a search engine. But in reality, all our devices or our equipment, they do have an AI assistant capability that can book for you a ticket, that you can ask to book an Uber, but you don't use it. You still open the Uber app and you put all the details yourself, and you can just do it in a couple of seconds. So I think people need just to start saying, okay, before I look at getting a new AI tool or talking about which AI platform my corporate or my company or my business trying to adopt, is what are the AI capabilities that's surrounding me? On my mobile, on my TV, on my
face recognition, that's all
100%.
over.
And am I using them? Why? And why not? If not, then is it confident? Is it security? Is it the experience? And that's, I believe, really what's taking us away from like the hype versus the actual capability that can deliver value. And understanding the potential is great. So like we're all looking forward for AI to do great things. But coming down to the ground to understand the actual capabilities that can deliver is very important.
I think, there are some tools accessible. They are there, but maybe we don't know about them. Maybe we need references, more confidence to try them so that it can facilitate what we do, how we do things.
Yeah, true. I think on the personal level, you just need to pick a couple of use cases that can help you drive your daily productivity, for example, or get you more comfortable with AI. I stopped reading slides. I don't look at slides that comes in 12, 15 slides. Doesn't make any sense anymore. I would rather put them, summarize them, get a short executive summary, extract
key highlights.
Exactly. Extract key, abstracts from them. And then maybe when we go to a meeting, instead of having 1 hour meeting for someone who's trying to read slides for you, just spend 15 minutes just discussing the slides. Like, hey, what do you think about this point? Why are we doing that? Because at the end, during your day, anything that's being shared between employees, it's a level of information extraction and abstraction, like understanding the whole concept.
We need more analysis, insights that drive decisions.
Exactly. And people tend to do that in the past together. Like, let's spend 2 hours in a meeting or 1 hour online with slides and then discover things out. Okay, let's take one step ahead. Let's do this individually and let's use the tools and let's get to this level of abstracting and extracting information. And then when we meet, we talk about decisions and we talk about how we move forward. These kind of things, I think they do help. They do help a lot. And that's the value that at least we can achieve today based on the tools that are available in our hands.
Yeah, the freemiums at least.
Yeah.
How is the AI perception shifting across regions from Silicon Valley to MENA?
Well, I just can give you an example. Like 2 weeks ago, I was ordering some food online. And then I got an SMS that the food arrived. Right? So I was just coming out of my house, standing there, you're waiting for someone like Talabat or someone that just, giving you food in a bag. But there was nothing. It's just the guy said, just walk. The text message said, walk close to the car. And then the hood pumped up and the food was there. And then you look inside the car and there was no driver. So it was like,
this is in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's in San Francisco. So this autonomous cars and driving is not just for taxi and picking people up. It's actually transforming the delivery and the food industry. And even you can, use them for transportation and other stuff. But this is the level of speed. So, that's why I'm saying you cannot judge the AI adoption throughout the whole industries the same way. There are areas where are excelling very fast, like this transportation, healthcare, travel and insurance and others. And there are still like financial sector, government still a little bit conservative in adoption. But that was like some advancement that I got surprised when.
Fascinating. Yeah, sometimes we're even about the drone deliveries, which maybe are happening at a small scale.
Yes. But the key is you see it. It's happening. So you see it and you know that's coming. And that's where you see this advancement and enhancement. And I think always coming to the UAE and seeing all the work that's being done to keep things moving forward faster. That's key. You hear the news, you see that they are preparing the right infrastructure. They are building the skill set. And they are giving you an environment where you can actually prototype and test.
Exactly.
And that's what you need. You don't need anything more than that. And it's all here.
Supportive ecosystem.
Yeah, so it's going to be very unique to see how things are going to move fast in the region also.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah.
So let's tap into purpose-driven AI versus utility-driven AI. So how can companies differentiate between AI that automates and AI that aligns with purpose?
Yeah, I think that's very important to understand the use case because a lot of engagement today, especially with consultative companies, start with like, tell me your processes and I will use AI to automate it. That's doable and achievable, and it's the easy entry point to achieve that because it's very easy to say, okay, instead of spending 5 steps to get this executed or completed as a task of purchase, let's say, we can do it in 2 steps, where 3 steps will be fully automated. But to be fair, that's not really AI. It was done in the past if you really had someone who was ERP expert or other tools, automation tools. They were also doing the same.
Streamline operations.
Exactly. So they were doing the same. But when it comes to really understanding the value of infusing AI into an organization, usually this discussion starts with, you won't have a real AI strategy unless you have a good data strategy. And it makes sense, but it also goes other way. AI has to be part of the data solution because a lot of these companies, they're already successful and they didn't have AI. So they had people who were looking at this data and they were extracting information and they were doing fine. When you go to an organization doing billions of dollars, you cannot just tell them, oh, AI is not working because your data is bad. Well, it was working. So what is the solution there? Yes, we can go and judge data and say AI is not performing because data quality, but can AI also work backward to improve data? That's also very important. So, and this is where people can start by saying, okay, let me bring some use cases beside automation to drive outcome that benefit people. So I think one of the use cases we're working on is, especially in, I think, healthcare and medical sector, is all this regulated and protocol summarization. These are things that keep getting updated very frequent, and usually it's like books that big. But at the end, as a practitioner, what you need to know is like the delta or the updates or what are the key highlights. So putting a solution in place was key in some areas where people were able to, identify what are the latest trends that impact their daily work. Like, okay, I have a couple of operations this week. I need to revise. I need to, authenticate myself and be ready to do the latest and the greatest based on the regulations. So don't just send me this big bulletin of changes. Just send me the summary with the key extraction and confidence. But this solution also is not like one AI solution. You look at the solution that summarize this report because they are critical information and data, and you find 5, 6 different solutions working together in harmony. And every one of them is specialized for certain area, others specialize in curating of data, others specialized in summarization and putting things in a nice report. And that's where also the agentic AI came in. But that's why the more narrow you focus on building this solution, the more quality and accuracy you get. But you need to build the skills on bringing them all together.
And it is us who will bring the purpose in it. So it
Absolutely.
can serve the strategy of the company and the mission.
Yeah, 100%. I don't, even if there is an AI out there that has a purpose to achieve something, it came from the human being. Either they learned from us. That's why one of the key things that happened in the last 12 months was the multimodal AI capability, because it started to replicate human being that text is not the only source of information. It's text, it's images, it's video. So observing and learning through observation was key. But yeah, you build things and it will act the same way you build it. Yeah.
And you always need the integration of people, because when you said now multimodal, how they are connected, it reminds me sometimes how our minds work over multiple frontier. Like we connect the dots, historical things, world views, our values, how we feel, facts.
Yes.
So I don't think yet without as well the human in the middle, leveraging all of this loop, can maybe try to accomplish the ultimate desire.
100%. Through multiple implementations, solution that has human in the loop approach, where especially when it comes to highly regulated services, are the one that achieving much more progressive, I would say, success.
Yeah.
Because you always go back and you go back to someone who's just, fine tune or refine the solution for you based on experience, based on knowing and predicting the outcome of this actions. And that's something that you build aside of the AI, and then they advance with you as tools to help you to save your time to do more. But I don't see this happening on its own, at least in the near future.
Is reinforced learning happening on its own within AI or by the continuous feedback of people as well?
It depends on the level of, I would say, of technology that you engage with. I don't think that reinforcement learning is something open for the public and us. The level of computing and technology and the amount of complexity that sits behind that is way for maybe in certain areas in research and more complex stuff. I think everything that happens today is highly controlled by how the human being progress AI. So any progression that's happening in our tools, at least, is controlled by us. So we define which data to look at. We control the AI.
The input.
Yes, exactly. The input, the rules even. Like, here is your character. Here is your attitude. Here is your the expected outcome. So it's really under control. So reinforcement learning and getting things into the research mode and opening up to start doing some common sense AI capabilities, it's coming, but it's not in our day-to-day functions today.
How the cultural nuance around it can shape it, despite the universality of AI, can sometimes remain relevant to some local contexts.
Yeah. Look, I can give you an example that just explain how attitude influences trust. Because it's the same like humans trusting each other. Like, I know you first time, I won't tell you everything, I just want to test, see.
Exactly.
And then by time I build confidence, we become friends.
And rapport.
Yeah, exactly.
There to share.
Same thing is happening with AI. It's like I try you a couple of times, I don't like the experience, answers were not accurate, things were not good. I will not come back, or maybe I will give you some time and come back. But as simple as the responsibility that sits with the AI technologist and the company that's building AI is to help AI to become more of this open technology. And I'm not just talking about open LLMs and open foundation models. I'm talking about really open platforms. If you look today, all of our devices with all the personal assistant we have, either it's Apple or Google or others, it's very limited when you start asking about your personal stuff, like asking any of this AI system to check your balance, your bank account. So you get a question, say, okay, allow me to access your bank. And you say, you are allowed to access. And then you get, for example, an error saying, I cannot access. What does it mean? It means that it got blocked. Why did it get blocked? You start asking yourself questions. Maybe the bank said that, no, I'm not going to allow this AI agent assistant for security reason to access my data. So as an individual user, you ask yourself, if the bank is rejecting this, then there is a security breach or risk. So should I use it or not? So this behavior between organizations, that things are not opened up yet and they don't trust each other's, you can imagine the individuals, how they think about it. Like they create this doubt. But we need alignment. Like, hey, if I'm going to put personal assistant on mobile devices, and at the same time I have the bank mobile app on the device, why can't they talk to each other?
Okay.
Otherwise, you are limiting me. And I start thinking about why you are limiting me, and I guess it's bad reason, so I'm not going to use AI. So this is the kind of things we need to start working on, much more than individual level, but really organizations and the level of AI regulations and acts that require this cooperation between organizations to allow people to feel really there is nothing wrong with AI. It's open. And
reduce barriers while ensuring as well seamless security,
100%.
Data privacy,
100%.
integrity.
Yeah, it's the same thing you do with human beings. Like when I call the call center agent and I ask him to check my account, he's already authenticated in my account. So that's a human being. So you set a certain level of rules, like recording the call, like making sure that this agent is trained. So why don't you do that with AI? So that if
guardrails.
Exactly, the guardrails, the adoption models, where make sure that, hey, if I meet these 10 standards, then this AI is open up, and I can actually trust him to access your data, like you do with the human being. But as long as this is not happening, I will trust the human being more.
Yeah.
Because they are being in the right position and regulation, as you said, that actually make sure that I feel confident that I'm not doing anything that will get me at breach.
It will take time.
Yeah.
What lessons did you learn from previous experiences about aligning AI with customer-centric transformation?
Yeah, no, that was very interesting experiences and journey I had. It's usually when you try to build a brand and you try to create a customer experience practice using live agents, you spend a lot of time training them. You have an onboarding process, you train them, you keep monitoring them, observing their attitude. You have this supervisor sitting there listening to the calls, making sure everything's working fine. But somehow when we try to deploy AI, we just think that it's going to do everything on its own. Like, okay, yeah, but did you put any tools to monitor AI performance, to guardrail it, to make sure that you have the right restrictions?
And the quality.
And people usually overlook all of that. They think that just I will put a chatbot there or an AI assistant and I can trust it 100%. And they overlook all the effort they did in building this with a human being. It's the same thing. You need to, at the same time, you agree with any vendor that's going to build a bot for you, and there are a lot now. You need to make sure what kind of tools they are giving it to you so that they can guarantee the performance. Can I monitor? Can I check the containment level? Can I check, for example,
satisfaction
tweaks?
level
Exactly.
of customer interface?
Do I get customer feedback? What is the average handling time? So the customer experience with AI, which is one of the most popular adopted use case today, I think everyone has a bot now, either in-house or they bought it somewhere. It's being a great approach so that to automate and reduce the repetitive tasks in the customer experience, but it's also not designed with the right tools yet to be fully monitored so that we can extend containment. Maybe I can reach that 50% of my interactions in the future are fully handled by this bot tool. What do I need to do to reach that? So it's not data. It's not like what everyone is saying. Every time you talk to a consultant or any competitor, yeah, but you know the data. If you can give me the data, I can get the AI to do that. It has nothing to do with the data.
It's a tedious process, I think, to train them so the customer is really satisfied and appreciates a certain efficiency. Personally, in many chatbots through WhatsApp, when I want to engage with customer service of any entity, be it a mall, speedy courier, a restaurant, it is annoying. and many times, like, you know, you want to prompt it further. You are full of sometimes disappointment or sense of urgency. You want to track something, ask more, probe more, but they are fixated and then they keep repeating messages and then you just feel it's a waste of time. I want really a human being to talk to me.
No, it's a very valid and fair feedback, and that's why if you look at some of the recent statistics, I think it was Salesforce or someone else, if you look at things like booking a flight ticket, they see now confident in 75% that they can go and book a flight ticket. Very specific.
Yeah.
Date, time, from, to, very little will go wrong there. But try to change the ticket. Try. Go back and say, I want to change the ticket. I want to change the schedule. I want options.
Yeah.
Tell me, I wanted something in the evening. Something. So if you go back and you try to do any alteration to your previous ticket, which requires some level of discovery
and troubleshooting
and investigation, you will end up with the same frustration. You'll say, hey, okay, you know, unless you come back saying, I know exactly when the ticket is.
The
okay?
ABCs.
100%. Can you trust the AI when they read to you your patient report? Maybe. It's okay to read for me the data and display it, but if I really want to discuss my medical report
or diagnosis,
I need to talk to a professional, a doctor. So it's also based on the use case. Things that are exactly what you said, very specific, appointment reservation, booking, flight booking, stuff like that's very, very clear and very specific. Absolutely, it's gonna be. I think it's already there. It's already doing a good job. But anything else that require, as I said, discovery and investigation and some level of thinking, and
it needs still some time.
You still need some time, yeah. I think
so Ahmed, we always hear it would be awesome if really people, they steer AI towards force for good in a responsible, ethical way. So what are your recommendations so that we can really ensure that technology drives purpose?
Look, I think the most important is to be open. AI is coming and it's going to be everywhere. and you need just to embrace it and find how can you really win with it. It's very important. I think we heard in many
Win together.
events. Exact, 100%. We heard in many events these concerns about AI replacing human beings in some ways. It's not like that. It's usually the human using AI are replacing the human beings. It's not the AI alone. So you have to be, either you are part of the people who are discovering AI and
Riding the wave, steering it as well.
and finding this great solution so that you can, progress more and uplift your knowledge and skills, or you just be the one that at risk. But really, start with something that has benefit.
Solves problems.
Yeah, real problems. Start with real problems and make sure you have true guardrails. Invest in tools. People should invest in tools that help them to monitor AI, help them to analyze it, understand how to monitor it, and make sure that they can understand the outcome expected and hear the voice of the customers who are using it. Not just looking at the AI statistics, but understanding from the customer. And when they have the discussion should be, how can we make it better so you can use it? It's not like, what is it doing wrong and you don't like it, and eventually it might end up like, let's shut it down.
And use it for good.
100%. Yeah, and there are tools today that come on one platform. Like if you use a lot of your business tools today, every vendor has their own AI pitch and AI add-on. These are useful, but be open to use multiple tools, because every tool, the way it is developed, the data that's being trained on, has its pros and cons. So at the end, think about all these AIs at your assistants and employees who works with you in the team, and use each one of them where they are really good. Don't try to get locked in by a vendor because they got your business tools or they got your desktop, so they are like, it's either ours or not.
Monopoly.
Yeah, it's not going to work like that. You have to be very transparent. And one thing I recommend to people, especially who works with me on some projects, is AI engineers is the biggest hype these days. And it's very frustrating because the low-code, no-code tools that can allow you today to build basic conversational AI flow or multiple agent, these are designed even for business users. So the definition of an AI engineer can sometimes get oversold. Like he's an AI engineer or she's an AI engineer. AI engineer should be the person that can really use AI to resolve problems. It's not the programmer. There's a difference between an AI programmer that uses tools and AI engineer. And in the traditional organizations, AI engineers, they are, even today, they are getting hired in the engineering and R&D departments. And I believe that's a mistake. I think the business teams, the business function departments, they should hire the AI engineers for themselves and work with them very closely, work with them on daily tasks. It's not an IT job.
It should not be in silo, as if it is a back office like it used to be. IT, they have their own bubble and department.
Yes.
Barely you see someone crossing from there,
yes,
receptive to our problems.
100%. You look at most of the organizations today, you have the IT department, you have also engineering departments. They are either collecting requirements from you, or they are just producing some products and then you try to use it. That's not AI.
It's a business imperative.
Yeah. AI engineers, the people who know how to use the tools and they know how to tune AI to fix the real problem, they should be in the business teams. They should be like people sitting every day. They are experts in business processes. They understand how to use that. And the IT department is just serving them through the infrastructure and everything that they need to make this work. But it's not really an engineering organization anymore.
Actually, this is very true and insightful, and it reminds me as well of sustainability, although it is a different topic.
Yeah.
But it is not one-person show, and it is something that should be driven by every business and function. True. It sits everywhere.
True.
And this requires ownership from all as well, the heads, the executives, to embed this.
Yes.
The data, the engineering, in the way we engineer decisions.
100%. Yeah, we will talk about sustainability. It's AI has an important role in sustainability, but I think today the impact comes from the individual responsibility into this part, because the same way that human beings has a negative and positive impact on sustainability, AI also has the positive and negative impact on sustainability. So it's like we have to be careful. There is no like
To see with
the
both
magic.
eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, it's not like a magic stick that you're gonna go there and think that AI is gonna fix everything. That's not true.
Yep. So let's move to AI as the new operating system. What does it mean to say AI is becoming the operating system of the business?
I think it's AI as an operating system is really something that's happening today, where I don't think there is a path forward for anyone developing anything without having to keep in mind what is the AI role in this tool or application. In the last 10, 15 years, when mobiles came up, the application ecosystem is booming. But also we got the app fatigue, right? Like every mobile today has like 20, 30 apps. And sometimes you don't know how to navigate around that. But this was because, not just because of the apps or because of people, every company wants to build its own app. It's because the operating system of these mobiles and the desktop and the laptops and the PCs that we use is designed this way. You build an app, you import it, you put it on there, and then people use it. But the future is coming is that the operating system for all these devices is AI. So when you want to build an app, or it's going to be you are building a service, and then you inject it into this AI, and then AI is going to just offer the service to you. So if instead of implementing a mobile banking application, no, I want the operating system, which is fully based on AI, to have all the services that's available on the mobile app and get the access to it. And then when I need to navigate it and use it, I use the AI. That's why all the developers today, when they build apps, they have to put an AI capability in there, either through the integration or through the AI, because eventually your app is not going to stand alone. So people are learning a lot of skill set today, like, okay, I'm building a new app. What is the AI capability that I'm going to put in there by default? Because if there is no AI capability, it's going to be a legacy app. So that's why the AI is going to be the operating system that's going to run all the services and the applications in the future.
So it will be like AI is your catalog destination to do multiple services instead of having so many apps.
It makes sense. It makes sense. That's why a lot of companies, big mobile companies, you start seeing AI as an infused part of the operating system. There are iOS versions, I think the recent ones, they just have AI fully embedded in there. You can do anything. But yeah, it's going to be more of the platform where you build everything and you don't have to worry about navigating 20, 30 different apps just to do your daily task. It will just converge all this for you and do the service integration for you and give you input. So I think that's where a lot of things are going with the
very exciting times ahead. Yes. How are businesses reorganizing themselves around AI as a core infrastructure? I'm sure this needs a lot of CapEx, maybe OpEx, I don't know.
Look, it depends really on the use cases. If you're going to deploy some basic high-level functionalities that can be fully, I would say, running on the cloud platform, it's still a very valid solution. As long as there is no critical data that you believe there is a lot of regulation around that you cannot push for. And then you take it from there. Okay, I want to bring more in my control. So let's say I have more critical data. So you have this edge computing capabilities coming, which is available today, where I can keep a lot of the high computing capabilities on the cloud, because maybe it might be expensive for me to host it in my own data centers, but I can keep my data more close to my...
The sensitive...
Exactly, the sensitive information, the data close to my premise, edge computing, do all the AI analysis of this data without pushing anything to the cloud, which keeps everything secure. But a lot of organizations, I think there is a big queue now. Everyone is booking GPUs, and everyone is either buying them for sake of owning them, or at least trying to rent them, because they're going to advance much faster. So you don't want to invest early enough in anything, because you know it's going to be much faster later in the future. But definitely a lot of organizations, they feel there is a value to own it, because they want to control all the training, data, accessibility, all the functionality, all the security end-to-end.
It becomes, it's their asset.
Yeah, so you really need to set your priorities.
Okay.
And really understand your use case. Like a lot of organizations, they also sometimes confuse between the security, like the IT security itself, and the AI security. AI security is so much relevant to data and information. So you need to find what is the approach to get this data to AI. It doesn't mean that AI has to be on premise. It can be the access to data fully controlled through the right guardrails into your organization. I think that's much more, at least at this phase, that much more fit.
Reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable and fits majority, I would say, of organization working on AI strategies throughout a lot of their use cases.
Thank you, Ahmed. And again, around the operating systems, what frameworks or principles should leaders use to integrate AI more meaningfully into operations?
It's starting even from the very basic decision of hiring people. And we start hearing a lot of organizations, they ask clear questions, like when you have an open position, they will ask you, can this be done by an AI? So before you hire people and you get people to do the job, did you ask yourself, before you add someone else, can this be done by AI? Because if they drive you to think this way, then most probably you're going to think about transforming the business. Because, okay, instead of hiring one person with a specific job description, I'm going to actually think about the task that I was going to give to this person and start thinking how to automate it using AI. And eventually you might hire someone, but they're going to do something else, something more innovative, something that's going to benefit the business.
Maybe all the job descriptions should be reviewed.
Exactly. So is it like something that should start only operational? But I think it starts also when you bring in the people inside your company or your
what
business.
Success we want to deliver, where we still need people, but to do what? To future-proof the business in a different mindset, approach, skills, and what can be now all taken over by AI.
Yeah, because if they drive that, it will be more outcome-based than just role-based, which means, okay, I'm hiring someone, I expect 4 things to happen.
Deliverables.
Exactly. So in this case, you would be able to define the real human value, but at the same time, this mindset is going to revolutionize your operation. Because then you will find infused AI by employees, not just someone coming from the top and saying, here is your AI tool, I want everyone to use it. Yeah, what does that mean? You have to tell us. Yeah, you have to start with the problem statement. I believe that's the first step that the company should start doing, is to try to understand before hiring people what exactly they're trying to do and can AI really fit in this role, and then they decide what will be the human role after that, and that's hopefully can help human and AI coexist, because then you'll have very specific outcome for both of them.
I think most of the lined up retreats of top management should have this topic high on the agenda on the table to redefine the future. And talking about this, let's move to beyond the tech, human AI co-creation. What skills and mindsets should leaders adopt to keep pace with AI evolution, starting from the board, CEO, and the rest of the crew?
Yeah, I think on daily basis, we all follow AI updates, but I think they need to embrace these nucleus projects that adopt AI in different departments. And they need to accept that it might work, might not work. And failure is actually a win, because at least you learned and you understand the potential that's coming in the future. So I staying on top of the trends, but understanding also their specific vertical capabilities within the AI ecosystem is key. It's not, as we talked in the beginning, it's not about all the AI news. It's what's really relevant to me.
Exactly.
And getting people who are ready to try things, spend some time on it, spare time.
Experiment,
100%.
R&D.
And fail and try again and, move forward with it. It's like, it's tools for you to just try different things and research, and you will discover something. You will invent something with it. That every time you use AI and you have patience and you keep pushing forward and you keep trying things, you end up inventing something. It's different.
So where do you draw the line between human intelligence and artificial augmentation?
Oh boy.
Or it is all melange of colors?
I don't think they should think that they are competing. I think they have to take it in a way that they are complementing each other. So it's like I look at all my repetitive tasks. I give you an example. I don't read slides. I don't care. 5 slides, 10 slides, 25, 30 slides. If we go to a meeting, I will make sure that I spare all the time that I spend on a meeting or in a meeting for slides. So that's actually, I'm smart to do that. So
less is more.
Exactly.
Again.
The human intelligence is in using the AI to save my time. So you actually, AI did not recommend that to me. It just, I used it. So always think about that the human intelligence is to mold AI into these use cases that will benefit them.
To serve you, to be at your service, to be smarter, more punctual, sharper, effective.
Yeah. So
efficient.
I don't think we're gonna compete. I think it's gonna be the only one I'm gonna compete with is that person that used AI to do something smarter than me.
Okay.
The one who came to me and said, "Hey, this is your role, your job. Look what I built. I built an AI that can do what you do in 4 hours in 5 minutes." I remember one of the financial reports. I don't come from a financial background, so I struggle when someone give me, when you become like a manager, you get engaged in some of these financial discussions. So sometimes when people hand over things like 10K report, 10Q report, like the quarter financial reports, and they keep saying that the financial analyst, it will take you, Ahmed, 4 to 6 hours to understand the report. So it will take me a couple of days and still do not get 100% out of it. But when there are tools out there that have been trained and specialized in 10K and 10Q reports, for example, it took me 5 minutes because I got 10 points. Some of them are facts, data,
exactly.
What is the outcome? And I said, okay, that's what I needed. And now I can make a
What's
decision.
going well? What's the pulse of the
That's
company?
100%.
Where are the red flags?
Yes.
With the recommendation.
I don't need to to be professional.
Yeah.
I didn't need to hire someone to do it for me. So, but you need to find the right tool.
Exactly.
And sometimes when you go, there are a lot of open source tools you can use. But from my perspective, I trust, you know me, I'm the hugging face guy. I trust platforms.
Yeah.
Because in the platform, they have tools for text analysis. They have tools for reporting. They have tools for vision and image processing.
So it's specialized
yes,
in a
and that's what I really recommend for a lot of people. Get used to not to one tool. Get used to platforms where it will give you these Lego parts and you can create your own intelligent workflow tool. So you say, okay, I'm gonna create this tool and every time I'm gonna push in a 10Q or 10K report, I'm getting exactly what I need out of this report. That you did not create that from one tool. So this is also something that I recommend from my at least experience.
And we can customize or personalize the way how we want the output to be readable.
True.
Interpreted in a way that suits our style,
yes. 100%.
likability.
I think it's one of the things that we, in board meetings, usually there is this big deck of papers.
We love decks of paper.
Yeah, they distributed like on 12 board members. And yes, there might be some common language there, but I can tell you that every one of them must have processed this differently. At least, I would say 40% different. So imagine if every one of them could have analyzed it and then they were only presented with what's really matter for them.
The executive summary.
Everyone get the same understanding.
Level
that you
playing
really
field.
Exactly. This is the kind of key things that I believe is a quick win now. These capabilities are very mature. The platforms have a lot of very strong text analysis, speech to text, text to speech. It's really at its top notch, so you can trust it. And so hopefully this can help people to understand where to start.
Brilliant. What's your message to professionals who fear AI will replace them? I know, like you tapped somehow, you alluded to it, but let's reinforce it.
Well, look, I think I can think about myself, like someone who's a techie, comes from the background. Most of the knowledge that we had is irrelevant because
coding.
It can be coding, it can be architecture, it can be design. It's actually obsolete because everything changed. The architecture is changing, the way that things integrate together, the protocols. So you need to first educate yourself to be open to use different tools. And then think about the way you're going to use these tools. Are you going to use these tools just to generate what you used to do in the past? I should not be sitting a couple of days just to do blueprint of a design. I can use the right AI tool. So I think, again, you have to be very transparent with yourself. Don't have this ego and think that, hey, what I'm doing is very important and no one else can touch it. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen like that. It is going to change because there are a lot of startups, and we are one of them here, that trying to look at a lot of journeys out there that used to take a village to complete.
Yes.
And they are fully automating that end to end. And people will adopt that. Cost-wise, they will adopt that because of efficiency. They will adopt that because of speed and of human errors. So you have to be very transparent with yourself. And you need to find out what do you need to learn, how can you shift, and start using these tools and just get there in some sort. And as I said, you will find exactly where you're going to be unique and where you're going to be excelling using these tools. And then you will not have to worry about getting replaced.
The synergy with the AI, we used to say me and you equal 3. So how the human being and the AI can be
100%, 100%.
a fireball of opportunities.
But it needs people to be humble. And really,
always. First leadership lesson in leading ourselves as well.
Yeah.
I love the fire questions part that we just reached. So, what is the most overused word in tech today?
I think when you talk to anyone, everyone's talking about agentic AI, right? And I just keep saying, agentic AI, it's great, the potential of having this experience network of AI models or AI tools that can orchestrate with each others and they can complete a task and reach the purpose that you discussed is great. But also, the agentic AI is not the answer for everything. Okay, sometimes the use case is more simple. So that's where I was talking about the AI engineer. You need this level of expertise that people can say, hey, this is a very basic use case. You don't need this complexity of developing all these agents. So I think the agentic AI is now like
the buzz,
the most popular thing. If you don't talk agentic AI, some people even think that you don't know AI. So.
A hidden gem AI tool you love?
Look, again, I will go back to the same tool that I use, the platform that I do with Hugging Face. I think these guys have done a fantastic job there. Because there isn't many tools out there that are business and user friendly that allow you to keep shifting between LLM models in real time and do some kind of benchmarking and really do multiple things. Like imagine I give you I talked about this Lego parts. You can go there, you can do text analysis. The text analysis, you can do it for PDF files. So if someone gave you a PDF of 20 pages, they can summarize it, it's very accurate, and you can compare that between multiple LLMs and then benchmark which one is better for you. Same thing with the, I would say, the vision analysis. Let's say you have a video, you have photos. So it's like a platform that has all these tools.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, and you can bring them together in a use case. So for me, at the moment, Hugging Face is winning what I'm doing.
Okay, great. And if Gaia, by the way, Gaia is Fusion Minds AI, Gen AI. So if Gaia could speak, and you're the father of Gaia, what would be her first sentence to the world?
Okay, so I think...
You're teaching her already.
Already, I told her what to say. Oh, let's see. No, really, it's... I think the understanding the purpose of what we're trying to do, I think it would just ask the world to trust the human being with AI, that we can do definitely better things together, and trust the process. That's really where we're going.
I love it, how it's really surfacing trust as the first key word. So the age of intelligent purpose is here. Ahmed reminded us that AI isn't just about doing things faster, it's about doing the right things better. Thank you, Ahmed, so much. I really enjoyed this.
Anytime.
Thank you.